Today I see here, man. I feel like we need to talk. Dear Vancouver, let's talk. So it recently snowed in Vancouver. For the past 2 weeks, it's essentially been snowing like on random days, and the city feels like it shuts down or it stops functioning properly. And I've been made to feel weird about this. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about it because I often feel like we live in a city whereby we don't hold anybody accountable for their actions, especially our city leaders. Living in a country like Canada, there are certain things that are acceptable and certain things that are just not acceptable. You cannot tell me that people cannot fly because it snowed in Vancouver when it snows throughout the country and flights still happening. People still fly out of Toronto, people still fly out of Edmonton, people still fly out of Calgary, people still function throughout the entire country. If this is something that was new and phenomenal to the entire nation, then we'll be able to say, oh, this this thing just happened. But one of my problems that I have with our city is the excuse that we get every year, whereby we get told it really snows in Vancouver, it really snows. But it's like, no, I've been in this city for the past 4 years, and each year it has snowed. Like it has snowed within a certain period of time, usually December to February. It constantly snows, and the same reasons are given. Oh my God, it's snowing. It really snows, and then you're like, wait, it's been 4 years. At a certain point, somebody somewhere has to be like, yeah, I think this is reality, and this is what we know. And we live in a time whereby data is constantly available, through mobile apps. If I was to look at my phone right now, it will essentially tell me what the weather is going to be like for the next 10 days. Essentially, it's going to be raining for the whole time from today until next week. So when I look at this data, I'm left baffled by the state of our roads and by the state of how we live in this city. Like, how are we not prepared any time that the snow comes? And people will say, no, you should blame the residents because people do not have snow tires. Listen, I've seen how our streets are scraped of ice. Like, you're simply removing the top layer of the snow and leaving the ice there, which makes the roads slippery and difficult to navigate with or without the winter tires. And it becomes dangerous to drive. And essentially now you're forced to stay home for unessential travel, and you cannot do what you normally do because someone somewhere just decided, no, we will not be prepared and we will not bring up solutions. After 4 years, I don't think that we should be having the type of issues that we have in this city. Like, I'm very disappointed, and I feel like something has to be done. People have to be held accountable. Like, we pay huge amounts of taxes in the city. We do a lot for the city, in terms of payments. If you've ever parked somewhere and you God forbid you are 2 minutes late, you get a parking ticket. And that makes me question, where does all that money go if we don't prepare for times like this, for days like this? I've seen TikTok videos, I've seen whatever. The joke is becoming unfunny. It's not funny that every year, every year around this time, weird things happen, accidents happen, a lot of inconveniences are caused, and nobody seems to be coming up with solutions to the problems that we have. But these same people, they run these campaigns and they're like, hey, we got you, we will fix it, we will make it work for everybody, we are on it. And then you get into power and you do nothing. This is the job that you signed up for. This is the job of having solutions to these problems and seeing things that most people do not. This whole idea of living for today and not worrying about tomorrow sickens me to the greatest. Like, today, on the time of recording this, they've shut down 2 bridges. I'm like, listen, that there's a bridge that put like that where you're going to Surrey, that's terrifying when the sun is out, right? And then when it's raining, it's difficult to drive on. I think it's the Portello. I don't want to quote the wrong bridge, but they just shut down the Alex Fraser Bridge. And all this is highly inconvenient. The sky trains have stopped. It's like, guys, listen, it's been snowing for 4 years. So if you tell, and I'm pretty sure it's been snowing for the before those 4 years. Yes, climate change is here. Yes, things are changing. Yes, this is this. But it's been 4 years. At a certain point, you guys have to sit down and understand that it might snow for 10 days out of a year. But how do we prepare for those 10 days, and what do we need to do? How do we learn from cities that get snow every year? What have they done? What have they implemented? It's not like we're trying to do something new here. These are things that other cities have been doing, things that we can be doing, things that we can take from these other cities and learn from and actually do something about it. But we live in this time whereby it's like, no, our hands were tied. It's like, no, but what's your job, man? Like, I'm really tired of this. Like, I watched the videos. To be honest with you, a lot of these snow jokes are not fun to me anymore. It just feels like we accept incompetence and say nothing and keep moving, and we appreciate it. I don't know what we're doing, but it's like, yo, we have mayors, we have people who run for these elections and want to be leaders in the city. At a certain point, you have to come out. Like, as much as you ask for people to vote for you, come out and say, hey, you voted for me. This is what I'm doing, man. Not that we walk out into our streets, you can barely drive anywhere, and then y'all come election time, you're out here just, putting up your flyers everywhere and creating visual pollution. Like, it's sickening. Like, if I see, okay, fine, there's nothing that I can do about it, but like, it's just disappointing, how the transit system gets affected. It's been 4 years. Okay, it's been 4 years plus. It's not even been 4 years. It's been 4 years plus, and it's gonna snow again. I'm guaranteeing you, in the next year, between January and February, it's going to snow, and we're gonna have the same issues. And it's like, you do not learn. Somebody has to be held accountable. Somebody has to ask these people the right questions. Like, I don't even understand what's the point of having these news people, because anytime you watch them, it's like they're sitting down and they're being told, hey, there's nothing we can do. It's like, yo, why are you saying there's nothing that we can do? It's your job. Like, you are the one who's employed to do this job. You are the one who's supposed to come up with these solutions. Like, this urban, what are they called? Like, I don't know, whatever they're called. But if you work for the city, you have a job, and you have to make sure you have contractors in place. You have the things that you need in place. Because when it snows, our city cannot stop functioning, man. Like, how wealthy are people to the point that we shut down, businesses shut down? Like, I don't get it. Anyway, that's my rant. I'll see you guys in the next one. Subscribe to the channel.